Hello and welcome to Wake and Jake, a very special snow day edition on January 26th. Did you know the month's almost over? I feel like I did that last week. This time it kind of counts. As the city has just survived the storm of the century. I think we landed at like 10 inches in the city. Can you confirm or deny that, BBD?
I don't know if I've seen official projections.
Okay.
I definitely stayed inside and did like one walk.
The outsides did get hammered. Jersey got like 2 feet. The city got enough for a scare, and then it kind of turned off. We're okay. Me and BBD only 2 in the office because we're like that. And I don't know. I had to get lunch anyways. Better technology setup. Just makes it easier.
We're kind of supposed to do Yanks later because you're out tomorrow. I was like, well, 2 shows, and it's easy for me to get in because Subway.
Oh, I forgot about that.
I thought that was possible. Anyway.
Okay. Have you talked to Jimbo? Live producing.
No.
Okay.
No, I hadn't yet. It's been on the calendar, but.
Okay. All right, we'll follow up on that if you're a Yanks fan. What we're going to follow up talking about today, I was debating because we went through some trades happened. Fastball Freddie Peralta got traded to the Mets. Mackenzie Gore traded to the Texas Rangers. There's some fun stuff there, but as I've noted a couple times on this show, I don't just like doubling up with like a Talking Baseball episode. So we'll go a little more themed. And so I'll show you the exact pivot that happened. Mentally, I was like, okay, there were a couple trades. I was like, maybe rank the trades. But the conversation would have been very similar because the prospects, I mean, comparing Jet Williams and Brandon Sproat to the 5 prospects the Nationals got, I'm going to end up saying the same thing. If that guy clicks.
One of them goes.
If that works. So that seemed to not be great, but I could have spun it, but I didn't. And especially because I found an article. I don't know if some of you do read along. I don't know if the writers even like this. I'm trying to shout them out. Thomas Harrigan, who I have some thoughts and comments with. But yeah, MLB.com, if you want to go check out the article. It's 10 biggest positional upgrades teams made this offseason. I love the topic because I think it is something you feel day in and day out from your team when you're watching during the season. Like when you're watching your team, I'll give you 160 games. You take 2 off, or however you enjoy your baseball team. You know your team's flaw, and you kind of look for it every day. And again, if you have a bad team, sometimes you just have a bad team. If you have a good team, you're like, man, our left fielder does not hit this year. How come we never get anything from third base? We can't turn double plays. Our catcher can't throw anyone out. These are zoomed in by position a little bit, but it's always one of those fun, it's usually not a fun thing throughout the season when you're just staring at a position. I'll give you a little Yankees off the rip. Yankees left field, from Brett Gardner to Cody Bellinger, had been a mess. And again, so some Yankee stuff there. The Yankees are always a certain level of good. I know Jimmy loves going through the list. It's Gallo, Benintendi briefly.
Yeah, Verdugo year more famous.
Verdugo, Ground Out Festival. They just...
Waldo.
It just never, for whatever reason, for like 4 years or so, Yankees left field was a thing that Cody Bellinger back, by the way. That's happened since the last episode, I think.
On the last episode.
Oh, right. It happened live. How do you like that? And yeah, I just think it's one of those, during the season, watching your team play day in, day out, you see the whole. So Thomas Harrigan wrote this nice article, and he highlighted the 10 biggest positional upgrades teams made this offseason. Let me see if I agree or disagree with T-Hair. The first thing, as you know, there was a lot of friends I said I was going to make last season. One, we found out BBD already followed Thomas Harrigan. I think we did one of his articles last year.
We must have, because That's something I usually do when we come across a new guy. I'll reach out, give a follow.
And I want to do
End
this.
of reach out.
I want to do this as a friend. I want to do this in a gentle way. Thomas Herrick, we need a new picture on MLB. His Twitter profile picture, wow.
Handsome.
Like, is he getting married or is he in a wedding, but it's like a side profile picture? He probably couldn't use it for this. I don't know. The camera was just too close or something happened. So, Tom, again, I'm not an expert in the field, although I am looking great today in my Fabletics hoodie. I'm like Fabletics everything. No ad. That's not a read here. But, yeah, so, Thomas, thank you for this. And if you don't ever want me to talk about your articles or judge your face, I would understand that. I like your face. Anyways, the top 10 positional upgrades coming into next season. This is where, did he go alphabetical? Let's find out. Yeah, again, like there's a very handsome man there. That's just a tight shot. That feels, and I don't know the rules at MLB.com, but I feel like we could.
Tell your editor
update
the picture.
With one firm email and picture, I think we can rebrand.
This might just require a zoom out.
Right. I don't know.
You probably got a picture you like more.
Comment below. Anyone. Let's see if this is an alphabetical. I think it is because the order that he goes in would be funny otherwise. But this is where we love baseball. That the position he starts with, of course, is athletic second base. And I love the way he built this. What happened in 2025? The first name mentioned, Zach Geloff. Talk about baseball punching you in the face. Zach Geloff, especially when I think we were first doing tier lists, his 2023 rookie season, 69 games, 2.5 WAR, 840 OPS in those 69 games, and he kind of was all around 267, 337 on base, a 504 slug. So, sometimes you get nervous if you get the all batting average low on base, and sometimes the sport has a way of negotiating that. He comes back the next year where there was kind of a hyped Geloff train. I thought he was a Vandy man. It says University of Virginia. Oh no, I think I might have been sending some fake go doors to Zach Geloff.
Wow, I remember a lot of fun facts about him. Part of my group has a brother who I believe was drafted at the same pick. I think they're both 60th overall, if I recall. We were deep on Geloff for that debut year.
Hey man, I obviously have my own beliefs as a baseball watching fan. That was a little too intense. Got a little churchy. If Trevor Plouffe echoes one of my feelings, I normally feel even stronger about it. He was in on Geloff. Like I forget if he saw him at the field, but he watched him play. He's like, I like this kid. He comes back in 2024, leads the AL in strikeouts, 211 batting average, a 270 on base, 632 OPS. In 30 games last year, 174, 230 on base, a 502 OPS. So it's one of those, it's where baseball is a 6-6 sport, and Geloff put up some numbers at AAA last year. There's definitely some injury stuff too. He's 20. He just turned 26 in October. So I don't know. He's 26 years old. Zach Geloff, this is a pivot season for him. But last year, when you're the A's, you roll in with Zach Geloff and you're thinking, hey, maybe we can tap into the 60th overall pick that we believed in, and he saw some good stuff. Luis Urias got some run. Max Schumann, Max Muncy. This is crazy. A 53 weighted runs created plus. That's horrific. From a pretty good athletics offense that played at a very nice place to hit. They just got nothing from second base, which, if you'll remember, and we're talking trades, they brought in Jeff McNeil. And Jeff McNeil hit last year. I was surprised when I brought up his numbers, because it was kind of if you remember, the Jeff McNeil trade was such a salary dump. Was that the episode John Boy came in hot?
He came in hot about that about that trade.
That was pretty wild. 111 OPS plus from Jeff McNeil last year. The 2 years before, just interesting stat lines from Jeff. The OPS plus has landed right below league average. 2022 was a batting title, which is a couple moons away now, and I don't know if Jeff McNeil's that guy, but 243, 335, a 411 slug, that is a useful bat in the lineup. And if Jeff McNeil can be that compared to what Athletics fans watched last year, that feels completely different. I think are they planning on moving McNeil around? BBD let out a wow.
I assume they can. I didn't realize the composition of McNeil's season. I thought he had some like first half, second half. I thought one of them was bad. His numbers were good, and in September he just fell all the way off. I guess as the Mets finished falling all the way off. On September 3rd, he had 266 average with an 814 OPS, playing all different positions.
Yeah.
He had 85% was a really good year.
Interesting.
His first 102 games of the season.
Good for you, Jeff McNeil. So
he's a player still.
He's a player. He that makes the salary dump stand out a little bit more. But yeah, so Athletic fans going from watching 53 weighted runs created plus. That is a little gnarly. I know Jeffy's defense, doesn't grade out that great. I'd have to ask some Mets fans how that feels day in, day out a little more. I know I've seen him make plays, and he's a grinder. That he's going to be slid down in that Athletics lineup. Although, I mean, as BBD just dug through the numbers, if you have an OPS in the 8s, maybe you won't, Jeff McNeil. Going to a pretty good place to hit. Are we buying Jeff McNeil stock?
Might be buying a little Jeff McNeil. If they just don't need him to play center field anymore, because he played a lot of center field last year.
Played a lot of center field last year?
He just
what
hit
were
the
the Mets doing?
I know he's, not young, but this will be his age 34 season. I could buy into no more center field and good place to hit.
I'm going to do something I've done 5 times before. We'll call Jolly.
Okay.
Snow Day Jolly, probably high as a kite. So rude. Maybe playing with his dog.
He likes his dog.
Loves his dog. He's so scared
Makes
right
sense.
Now. Jolly.
This guy.
This is going to be a don't answer text. Guaranteed. I get it. I don't know if I'd answer.
Hey, it's Jack
Oh,
Govey.
God. Let's see when the text comes in. Or if he has the gall to call. Ooh. Rhyme. Okay.
Be something.
Great start. Where's our article? Jeff McNeil. The Cubs. Okay. This is where I think it's in alphabetical order, but this is, arguably the biggest one. I guess we could re-rank them if we need to. Third base. Cubs fans not too happy with me when I was like, it would make sense if they ran Matt Shaw back another year. Because they didn't love that. Even when he came back after really struggling at the start of the season, the way that our guy Thomas Harrigan, T-Hair, has butter-knifed it, was a 690 OPS over... Oh, no, he ended the year, with a 690 OPS over 126 games. That was with a really tough start. That, again, we're talking, you take out the start, that's around a league average player. I liked what I saw defensively from him, and I don't know, could there be growth there? Well, they went out and they got Alex Bregman. They clearly got their message across, or however their front office is wired, that Alex Bregman talking to the minor league hitting coaches about their philosophies and the baseball rat that he truly is. He is the person that they had circled on their big board to go out and get and try to take this Cubs team through their next window, where that Cubs lineup won us over during the year. Again, they get a lot of pitching performances. If Cade Horton is that guy. Ian Happ free agent year coming up. People forget that Yankees left field. But the core, PCA bursting onto the scene, Seiya Suzuki, Bregman, Bush, Horners last year. But Alex Bregman, Fangraphs currently has them as their 2-hole hitter. We'll see how that manifests and develops. But yeah, offensively, defense, both sides of the ball, day in, day out grind. Going from a rookie, figuring it out, tinkering with stances, to Bregman's kind of iconic stance a little bit.
Sneaky.
I think if any baseball person hits you with the Bregman, just kind of high and tight, little closed off, little bat waggle. I was debating the other day, some shower thoughts for the people. If I do throw my name in the ring for this year's Celebrity All-Star Game, do I go Bregman stance? Because he gets a little pop out of there. He's what, 5'10", 180? Eye test. He gets a lot of juice out of that swing. That maybe we need a rebrand there. I was sorry about that. But yeah, that one makes a lot of sense. And yeah, it is going to be interesting. I mean, Bregman out, Tucker in. Stats-wise, could be down.
Yeah.
Could be down.
When I looked at that lineup, and that was with Bregman being second, Happ third, say a 4. I felt looking at it like, oh, Kyle Tucker's missing more than I thought I would going in when you just say the names, because that all sounds fine.
Seiya's a really interesting one.
Stats always good.
The stats are always good.
I think he quietly got at least better at some defense. Maybe it's because they had him DH more often last year, but
32 homers last year for Seiya. I did not have that.
Not an easy place to do that.
The on base is a little lower than you'd think. But yeah, Seiya's a guy who drives and runs, drives the ball. It is interesting. And the Wake and Jake people, thank you guys, per usual. Subscribe, share, all the good stuff. I've had this weird baseball version of like NBA Jam or NFL Street in my head where you like abbreviate teams. Or maybe it's just something to do with the top 3 in the lineup. Bush, Bregman, Happer, or if you want to put Seiya in there, it doesn't necessarily jump off with some of the crazier teams. Or I guess the other thing is we get caught up in WAR, and maybe PCA is this guy for them, but like none of those guys are going to have like a 7 WAR season, but their floor is like a 4 WAR.
Like they are good.
Some loose numbers there. 'Cause what team was I looking at that I was like, their NFL Street team would be a lot better than people would think. Now I'm just looking at the teams right now. Let's see it. Oh, Texas. Talked about Texas on Talking Baseball today. Nimmo Langford Seager? Again, depending how you view Corey Seager, like I still view him as like Corey Seager's potential is a lot higher than those guys we just mentioned with the Cubs. In a way, Langford?
Langford put up a really good season if his offensive numbers alone take one more step, then he's kind of a really real guy.
I guess it's like the known versus the unknown a little bit. That it's like, what if Wyatt Langford is this? What if Seager stays healthy for 140? Where you look at those Cub guys and it's pretty set it and forget it. And the Cubs had a great year and the Rangers did not. And apparently the clubhouse was very bad. Joel Sherman article. Marcus Semien tried to call a team meeting and nobody came.
Yeah,
it's not what you want. That's not what you want. And I will say, as much as I said I don't like to repeat stuff on Talking Baseball and Wake and Jake, we did have a good conversation. If you're into if you're not into baseball and listening to this, thank you a lot. Just like the way my voice calms down your cats or something. we had a very good conversation about baseball teams showering together.
Oh.
Not even in like a over-the-top goofy way, just that like, the tech. We were talking about how weird the Texas Ranger thing is, and and like I gave a speech about if you're working with these people and you see them every day for like 8 months and how much that would suck, and Trevor's just like, we shower together. Like if you're showering with someone you don't like, that's a weird feeling. And then for me, I did take it into more of a Jake realm where I was like, do more or less companies need to be showering together? Why is it accepted? I might turn this into a stand-up bit. Why is it accepted that sports teams can shower together, but not other places of work? I mean, I'm not pushing for this agenda at John Boy Media, but I don't know. You're just like, oh, you're on the same basketball team, you shower together.
I think, especially the money that goes into these organizations, you can make separate showers.
It seems pretty dated, right? Like, that seems very old school. But Trev was also saying, he's like, it was also the best. Like, if you've ever been on a sports team or a summer camp or, I don't know, it can be a great bonding experience. So I don't know. I don't know where I'm going to land the ship on that theory. But it was a good conversation. And yeah, depending how you do your baseball NBA jam teams, which I've got to figure out a system. Say you go Seager Langford, and then you go DeGrom Eovaldi.
Yeah, you get pitching involved.
4-man teams or something like that. I don't have it figured out. You let me know what you'd want to hear. That the Texas Rangers are going to be an interesting case study for next season.
Before you move on to their breaking news.
Okay.
Harrison Bader is signed with the Giants on a 2-year deal.
Okay, interesting. I heard some of the rumors, or I heard that on MLB Network. Been watching a lot of MLB Network lately. Not sure how I feel about that. I guess it's good.
Yeah.
It could
Warehouse is on there now.
Warehouse games. How about that? Some blitzball battle on MLB Network. And Steve Phillips, I think I sent a picture to the chat the other day. Leather jacket, white hair like you dream of. They were saying Harrison Bader to the Giants, so I guess there must have been some smoke, and now there's some fire. 2 years. And I guess we did our center field tier list already with Jolly. Does that come out first or second?
I believe that might be the third one we're going to release.
So the timing will be slightly off on that. But there were some questions about Jung-Hoo Lee's defense. And now Bader can go play center field there and cover the world. So, man, that Giants team is going to be kind of fun. I feel like we do that conversation every year, and we haven't gotten the results. But this year's a little different. Ramos, Adames, Devers, Chapman, Jung-Hoo Lee, and Bader, with a little hodgepodge of can Bryce Eldridge, Schmidt, or someone else take off? I left Patrick Bailey out because I don't know what to do with him because the defense is sick. The offense is also sick.
I wish I'd thought of them as a Bader team. It makes a lot of sense. I mean, they'll cover ground. They had an extra outfield slot to work with. That, like Fangraphs has already moved Jung-Hoo Lee to right, and that doesn't feel wrong to me.
Holy smokes!
Frankly, they've had a couple slow days during recent breaking news that I've been enjoying good laughs of like, ooh, 10 minutes has happened and I haven't seen the update yet.
Wow.
That they were quick on this one.
Called out
middle of the day.
Live. Okay, good for you, Harrison Bader. Good for you, Giants. 2 years. What do we think the money's at?
I'm really curious. He had a good year.
He had a very good year. He has an injury history. 2 years is tight. 20 per?
20-something.
The over-under would be 20 because I could see the argument for 18. I could also see the argument for 22. We'll find. Maybe we find out.
There's no money that I've seen yet.
Yeah, maybe we find out live. All right, let's go through the rest of Thomas Harrigan's 10 biggest positional upgrade article. And it's all brought to you by the DraftKings Sportsbook. People, there is one more football game left. It's Super Bowl 60. Wow. Oh, I'm getting old, huh? Imagine how Chris Rose feels. Rude. Super Bowl 60 deserves a sport book built for the moment. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the Super Bowl, puts you right in the center of the biggest game. It is kind of the best thing to bet on. And they have their early exit protection, so if a player goes down in the first half, you still get paid out in cash. I mean, it's the big game, and they have all these random things you can bet on. And the best part is for new customers, if you bet just $5 and your bet wins, you get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use code JAMSPORTS. That's code JAMSPORTS to turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. All right. Back to our guy T-Hair. We have 2 Dodgers listed on this, which that should scare everyone, huh? The Dodgers brought in Edwin Diaz to be their closer. And if you remember, the Dodgers were pretty tough in the bullpen last year. I mean, it was kind of comical. And just a reminder how much Roki Sasaki saved their butt last year. And just a reminder, Miguel Rojas commenting on my Instagram because Baila la Roki. It's an amazing song. This is like probably the 5th time I've told you to go listen to that song if you haven't yet.
Good song.
Roki spelled like Rocky, my nickname. Dodgers signed Tanner Scott. You got something?
No, part of Roki saving their butt. Yamamoto 2 complete games.
Yeah, dude. They got by on the skin of their teeth. That the super team stuff is pretty wild. And again, I realize there's a lot of baseball people that don't agree with this, but IKF's got a score on that. Sorry. Anyways.
Between games 6 and 7, Yamamoto threw 8 2/3. I forgot it was that much relief.
He's a sick puppy, huh?
That guy's insane.
He's good. And in the regular season last year, Yamamoto, he was okay. 173 innings, a 2.49. So he's that guy, pal. Okay. And yeah, just a reminder, that bullpen that let the Dodgers down last year, their relievers were 21st in ERA, 22nd in WHIP. It was a struggle for them all year. And now as you look at it, like Anthony Banda, who's kind of solid for them, along with Vesia, and Tanner Scott, hopefully, is going to be in the lab and kind of get himself back. I always get did I just get a virus? It'll be okay, or it won't. Trinan is still out there. He did looked like the first year Father Time caught up a little bit. Maybe he bounced back. Bruce Gratterall. But Edwin Diaz was amazing. 66.1 innings, a 1.63 ERA. He is one of the best closers in baseball. It is kind of funny that it's like, well, they just, last year they brought in Tanner Scott, and that didn't work out, and the bullpen was bad. So you can play that game. You could also play the game that it's going to shift back because Edwin Diaz hasn't had a bad season since 2019. There's a couple seasons that are better than other. I mean, 3 of the seasons his ERA starts with 1. So what he potentially could be for the Dodgers back there if Tanner Scott kicks back into gear, who Tanner Scott had 23 saves and a 4.74 ERA. It's not like not atrocious. You can make an argument that the Dodgers have one of the best bullpens in baseball next year. We'll see if that comes true. Maybe it's rough again. Maybe it's not. But, yeah, just a reminder, Edwin Diaz on the back end with a potential turnaround for that could make those guys scary. And they've paired that up with left field, where remember how we talked about in BBD, we might have to look up, is this guy still a free agent? Michael Conforto. 1 year, $17 million, and that was one of our Dodger speeches through the year. Oh, and they brought in Conforto, $17 million. Some teams pay that for their best player. Conforto had one good swing on the opening week, and the announcer's like, "Dude, does he kind of look like Freddie?" And I bought in. He wasn't good the rest of the way. Negative WAR, 637 OPS. Luckily the Dodgers have Kike, who plays their postseason games. That's just the rules. They brought in Kyle Tucker. So, so Teoscar probably slides into left, Tucker in right field. But either way, the Dodgers made 2 significant upgrades. And have they lost anything? No.
Not really.
Kirby Yates is with the Angels, and that's obvious. That was the only place he was legally allowed to sign.
Yep.
Kopech, Phillips, Gonsolin, Kike,
all unsigned.
Conforto, and Barnes. So, they are fine. They are good.
I have the Harrison Bader number.
Okay.
Final guess.
2 years, 42.
20.5.
Total? Really?
Yeah.
He was good last year.
He was good last year.
What's that about?
Incentives can bring it up to 21.
So, earmuffs for Yankee fans. Did they misread the Trent thing pretty big?
I think there's arguments either way. Like before this one came out, there was arguments like, oh, you see what this guy's getting. Belly ended up getting this much. That Trent on a 1-year deal sounded nice.
Yeah, I guess how big is the difference between year 1 and year 2? Bader also does have health history, which Trent doesn't. Bader has health and performance history. Trent, more so performance. Okay, I'll let you debate that down below. Let's get back to our article. Little radio show vibes today. We'll be back. Harrison Bader just signed. The Dodgers are going to be really good. Little update for you. Next team, alphabetical still, I believe. The New York Mets in center field. Put me in, coach. If you remember, they brought in an all-Jake team member, Jose Siri, who did not have their... Did Jolly contact me yet? Text at 131, what's up? What's up? Wanted to talk about just Jeff McNeil, right? Yeah.
Jeff McNeil. And I guess it's going to be part of the center field conversation that we're just now starting.
Wow. Let's see if he has the urge to message back. Center field for the Mets. They brought in my guy Jose Siri, electric defense, and he's got some power in there. Fractured left tibia. That's brutal. Only played 16 games. Tyrone Taylor played. Mets fans love Tyrone Taylor, so that's good. I support it.
I think they love him more as the fourth outfielder.
Right. Cedric Mullins came in, and as we also went over in our center field tier list, he got Mets'd a little bit. That overall Mets center fielders put together 7 home runs and 0.7 F-WAR. So, Luis Robert, he's coming in. It's going to be one of the what to watch for us for the season. Does he have a gear he can tap into? Can he shake the White Sox off of him? 2023, 38 homers, 20 stolen bases, and an 857 OPS. He hasn't been that. He has not been that the last 2 years. But there's still bat speed. It feels like there's more to that ball player than what we have seen in the South Side. That at least the Mets have potential in there. And this Benj guy who's been listed playing for the Mets, I guess he's a real prospect. He flew up every prospect board. So maybe that kid's got something in the tank. Next, alphabetically, Orioles. Where did they upgrade? First base, Pete Alonso. Remember that? When winter meetings were winter meetings? We were smoking funny things. The Orioles ranked 22nd at first base with a 92 weighted runs created plus. That's interesting. I would think that would be more middle of the pack. I guess first base is still an offensive position. And no team got fewer homers from first base than Baltimore. Okay, great note, Thomas Harrington. Mountcastle missed a couple months. Kobe Mayo got some run, but it didn't come together last year. That they bring in Pete Alonso, the Mets' all-time home run king. That's fun. I guess Soto's going to be that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got 15 more years.
He's got time. But Pete'll hold on for a little bit. I like this one for how I teed it up at the start. For me, this is one of my favorite. Having a first baseman throughout the season, especially in Baltimore's kind of hellacious start and then duration of the season last year, just trailing by too much. You're looking at your first base production and you're like, this ain't it. I was going to say I could promise you, but I also maybe would have promised Rangers fans that Jock Peterson would have hit last year. Pete, offensively, first base-wise, is about as safe as you can come into going into a season. I hope it works. I like Pete. I really do. I find him entertaining, and I think he's just good. And I hope that all the free agency nonsense with him was just completely wrong. I know I was driving the bus for him to get a big contract the first time. He ends up getting it. I hope he keeps mashing for at least most of those 5 years. I think he will. The Pirates. Yar. Cool noise. Pirates second base. I guess you could have picked a lot of different positions for the Pirates. God, their offense was last in runs scored, which is always an indicator for me. Only 8 homers from the second base position. They traded for Brandon Lowe. That's a new face, new place. Brandon Lowe hits pretty much wherever he goes. He was in that Rays timeline of his final year that he would get traded. He has a little bit of an injury history, but when he plays, he performs. So I really like that move for them. Obviously, we all want the Pirates to do just a little more, but bringing in Brandon Lowe, serious asset. 2 Red Sox. Don't like that. Don't like that. The rest of the 6. Whoa. The rest of the list is Sox. I combined all of those words.
Wow.
At once. 6th. 2 Red Sox, 1 White Sox. So we're going out with a banger. The first Red Sox one is first base. Casas, I mean, where are we with that guy? I know a couple of my Red Sox fans were like, hey, he's got to come back and, like, be the guy in, like, AAA and earn it. They traded for Willson Contreras, who everything we heard defensively at first base was blend in, if not kind of good, with some tough moments. And offensively, Willson Contreras, I guess we did this exercise with him. It was kind of shocking that he doesn't have one gangbuster season offensively, but he's always good, and maybe it was the catcher's workload, and maybe going to Fenway, he'll be that righty that has a crazy year this year, and pretty set it and forget it. Like, that guy will be your first baseman, that the Red Sox have been kind of looking for that. I mean, Casas made an appearance, and everyone kind of got excited. I know I did. The power looks so natural for him. We'll see what the next steps are for him. But Willson Contreras is a day-in, day-out hitter. Good ball player. This one, I would throw a challenge flag at my guy, Thomas Harrington. Probably wants to fight me. Said he had a bad picture. He said the Red Sox rotation, which, okay. I mean, that's multiple spots, but it also is a very important thing, so I'm not putting down the value of it. Last year, Crochet was amazing. Bayo, pretty nice year from him. And Giolito had that stretch of the season that was pretty electric. Bueller and Houck were rough. Physically, performance-wise. That they brought in the Sonny Gray trade. Sonny Gray, I mean, literally basically outside of a year and a half with the Yankees has been a high-quality 2 or 3 starting pitcher in baseball. Whoa, Jakey. Snow day getting to me. Johan Oviedo, I don't know what to do with that yet, but he has some fine numbers. I think he's a major league pitcher. I don't know if he's going to thrive in Fenway or not. And then Ranger Suarez, who I would never bet against. So the Red Sox rotation, top projected in F-WAR for 2026. I don't know where I stand on that. Do they have the highest, or do they have the highest potential change? Maybe both. But yeah, people are excited about the Red Sox staff. They should be. I mean, what Garrett Crochet is, and I think I've said this on here before, but like that man, if Tarek Skubal didn't exist, I think we would treat Crochet like Skubal. Like Skubal's kind of the first pitcher out of everyone's mouth. Obviously, Skeens has established himself and is younger, and maybe the career arc is on a higher trajectory. But right now, the bad man pitcher in baseball is Skubal. And Crochet was toe-to-toe with him last year. So the Red Sox have that piece that literally only two other teams in the league can really have the conversation. And then they had Ranger Suarez, who has been really good in the regular season and otherworldly in the postseason. And Sonny Gray, who it'll be interesting. We joked about this on Talking Yanks. If he were to struggle with the Red Sox, it would be a nice little Yankees-Red Sox bond of just being like Sonny Gray was bad for us. I don't want to root for that. I kind of like Sonny Gray, but if it's against the Yanks, you're out, pa. That's just where I live. That Red Sox rotation, that top 4 is very impressive. They have a lot of other options that could potentially stick in that 5 spot that Oviedo is listed, like Kyle Harrison. Again, like he was a big-time prospect for the Giants, that he was in a part of that trade. Tolley flew up the prospect list. Connolly early, pitching in the postseason. That, they have some options that I like. That the Red Sox rotation has a chance to be really good. I also, taking it back to the Texas Rangers, depending where you're at with Mackenzie Gore, DeGrom, Evaldi, Gore, Jack Leiter, those bottom 2 have potential. The top 2, go look at their numbers from last year. DeGrom was a 2.97 ERA, 30 starts. Did we give DeGrom enough snaps last year? I don't think so. Also took a nice picture with Spida Mitchell, Donovan Mitchell, the big Mets fan. Did the Knicks screw that one up, or did everything work out?
It's largely
because Brunson,
worked. Him and Brunson next to each other could have been not a combination that works.
They both kind of need the ball.
They kind of need the ball, and neither do a lot on defense.
I think Spida can do a little more.
Of the two of them,
yeah. Texas Rangers, again, this is just going to be an interesting case study of this season. Texas Rangers top 4 has a discussion with a lot of teams. Maybe not the Dodgers, Mariners, Phillies. I think those are like the elite. Maybe the Red Sox. Maybe they do. Jack Leiter, 29 starts, a 3.86 last year. So, like, if he can build upon that. Did I mention Evaldi had a 1.73? Pretty crazy. Do you get this Norton antivirus thing on Fangraph sometimes? And is it just digging through my computer right now?
I can't say that's one that I've dealt with.
Immediate action required. Is my computer about to burn?
I don't know if that's true.
Okay. I don't know. I guess it's the other hint that's been in my voice talking about the Yankees, because Cody Bellinger brings them back to where they were last year. Although Garrett Cole was out for the season, and he should come back, but also coming back from Tommy John in your first season, you might not be Garrett Cole. I think the Red Sox got a lot better. I think the Red Sox got better. I think the Blue Jays have gotten better. And I think the Orioles have gotten better. So that's, again, a little just scary AL East talk. That the Sox kid should take the leap. And as I told you and got you guys excited for, the White Sox the Chicago White Sox. First base, Andrew Vaughn, man. Remember when he went over to the Brewers and he was sick? Andrew Vaughn had a 531 OPS over the first 48 games. They went with a little more of a mix, negative F4, 0.5 negative F4 at the position through the year. They brought in Murakami, which I don't know. I don't know if the returns will be instant on that. It could also be a losing for a year thing to maybe win in 2 years. Maybe he's just good. Maybe we're just still dumb at scouting these guys. Hey, I'll root for Murakami next year, and I think you should too. Thank you to our guy T-Hair for writing that article. Sorry about the picture thing. I hope you agree, and then we can build on that, and we can trust each other. That's what it's all about. Couple minutes. I'll do a little football. It was a big football weekend. And my Denver Broncos, which I jersey on, Brian Greasy jersey. Famously got thrown in a fire at Foxborough. Talk about that story another time. I told it the other day, and someone liked it. So, Broncos in Mile High, Jared Stidham. I bought in. Sean Payton, militaristic. Stidham's been the backup since Russ was there. He hasn't played a lot. It was like the least amount anyone's ever played being put in this position. There was a hype train before the game. A lot of people were betting the over props on Stidham. A lot of people were just in on it. He makes that first deep throw to Mims after missing the short screen pass to Mims that you're like, okay, let's see what we got here. And man, oh man, I guess I'll zoom out then zoom back in. The snow comes in. If you're watching this, you know what I'm talking about. And it was wild. It went from literally like picture perfect day to okay day to fine day to it's snowing a little bit. It's snowing a lot of bit that it hit a certain point in that game that it didn't look like points were going to be scored by either side. To be fair to the Patriots, I think they were acknowledging that the Broncos were looking like they weren't going to be able to score. So, they had a couple long third downs late that they just ran the ball just to keep the clock moving, and it ended up being the right thing. They won the game. I was pretty broken by the end. Will Lutz kicks a field goal that looks like it would have been good, but a Patriots defensive player got a hand on it. And the kick goes just wide, so that's one of those. And it's like a cool story for Patriots fans. The kid got called up from the practice squad the day before. He had a good joke in his post-game interview. I think he said something like, I got my hand on the ball, no diddy. Which is like, whoa. All right, my guy. So, okay, that Lutz field goal not going in, that one hurts because it would have been 10-10, and just like, who knows? Someone would have had to win the game, and it would have been a bad play, a special teams play. Could someone hit something on offense? And so that's kind of where I was, and I was sad. I got a little droopy at the bar, after the kick, and then obviously the Patriots get the first down that ends it. But you're sitting there, and it's also like, okay, well, it was Jared Stidham. You came into this game knowing there was a chance you were going to lose. You didn't know any which way it could happen, but you came into the game knowing that you could lose. And you're like, man, it was, the snow game. Like, what could you do after a certain point? Like, it wasn't on Stidham. Like, neither team could do anything. It was snowing so much that, like, you literally couldn't run an offense. So it's, I'm not mad. I'm sad. I'm a little droopy. I'm like, wow, the Broncos probably should be going to the Super Bowl, which, who knows? One game, one day, right? That's the whole thing with football. Although those NFC teams do look a little stronger, but now it's one team. Congrats to the Seahawks. I did get pretty sad later when I realized the only Patriots touchdown was on the Stidham. He tried to do a chest pass when he probably should have just taken the sack or gotten rid of the ball a second earlier. In live time, they didn't call it a fumble. When you watch the replay, it 100% was a fumble. That I was like, damn, if that play doesn't happen, if he gets rid of it a second earlier and just spikes it, or if he takes the sack and they punt it away, like the Patriots offense didn't really do much of anything. So that ended up really hurting me after. And the other one that they were harping on a lot was the Broncos had a 4th and 1 that they ran kind of that signature play action running back in the flat play, and it was snuffed out. They were on like the 19-yard line. That if you do the math of the game, if they kick a field goal there, is it a 10-10 game? Does it change the whole outlook of the game? I think it was the right play. I mean, if they scored a touchdown there and it was 14, I mean, Broncos are going to the Super Bowl. So tough. The Stidham component of it is tough to swallow. And as I've stated on here before, the Patriots, for some reason in my fandom, like they almost get to me more than the Sox. So the fact that they have Drake May, who just feels like a stud, Rabel is a pretty damn cool coach to have. It's mostly coming from jealousy or envy that they'll go to the Super Bowl. They'll play the Seahawks. We were, how far away were we from Rams-Broncos, which Trev's boyfriend plays for the Rams. I'm a Broncos fan. Could we have done something there? Instead, we won't. And it's a Jets nightmare. Patriots versus Sam Darnold. So the Jets find a way to keep losing, even though they haven't been playing. So that was a little foosball. One more game coming. Usually we get Chris Rose on a walk at the Super Bowl. First tier list Wednesday?
First tier list Wednesday.
Thank you guys so much. Share, subscribe, all the good and easy stuff if you like it. If you don't, eat a bug. Tier list Wednesday. Jolly Olive.